Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for coming along tonight to our Mexican-themed Thermomix Inspiration Zoom session. I am Lisa G, and we have Lisa B as well, the Lisa and Lisa show. So tonight we're going to make tortillas from scratch. Then we're going to make some corn chips out of them. Not corn chips, you know what I mean. And enchiladas and a dip as well. So showing you all sorts of different techniques. And then we're going to, hints and tips and all that sort of stuff. So I am Lisa G, and I've been a Thermomix consultant 8 out of the last 10 years. I am in Bibra Lake, and loving it. Lisa B.
And I'm Lisa B, and I've been around since 2008, and I've moved around with Thermomix from where I used to live to regional Western Australia and also to New Zealand in my role. And now I'm back. I'm south. I'm in Dalyalup, south of Bunbury, and Lisa's in Perth, and that's the beauty of these little things. We get to play together, but we're not necessarily in the same room. So, and you guys aren't either. So enjoy tonight, and please ask as many questions as you'd like to, either chat or, as I said, come off mute.
Yep.
All righty.
All right. Go. Yes. So I will start. So what I've done is I have saved the recipes in my week that we're going to do today. And I have pre-made some already. So flour tortillas. Now, as always, picture at the start of the recipe, picture at the end. You can scroll down and see all the prep and utensils, hints and tips. Hints and tips are always great to look at. Let's start cooking. So 500 grams of baker's flour. So baker's flour is different to plain flour in that it has more protein. So if you're going to make breads and stuff, buy it's 5 kilos bottom of the shelf at Woolies and Coles. Well worth getting. Teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of baking powder. Get that all out. And then we pop the lid on. And we're going to mix for 10 seconds, speed 3. And then this is, 5 ingredients. So the other 2 ingredients are oil, olive oil, and water. And that's it. So simple. So 80 grams of light olive oil. 6. Let me just get the spatula out. Don't want to get all of it. There we go. And 250 grams of warm water. That's 251, close enough. And then we just pop our lid back on. And 2 minutes dough mode, so kneading, and that's it. That's dough will be made. Simple as. Then if you want to,
Sorry, I was on mute. Here I am. Happily waiting here. So while that's kneading, that tortilla mix, that just sits for about 10 minutes. So as far as breads go, it's, super quick. And basically what they come out like is, this is a cooked one. So I made these the other day, and I made the dish that's Lisa's about to make with these. And then there was some left over because you don't need the whole batch. It makes 16. And so these are left over. So the dip that we chose to do tonight actually has triangles, chips basically, made from tortillas. So again, so one batch of tortillas, now we're getting 2 different things out of that one batch. And of course, they can be used for wraps, just for lunches and things as well. So the way this one works is, if you can see the screen there, so take the 4 tortillas and then make them into 8 triangles. Now, what I do first, and I need to just move this a little bit and I will bring it back. I've got my tortillas and I'm going to put some oil on just quickly. It says to spray oil, but I don't have a spray oiler. So what I'm doing is just rubbing them. And then it's so simple. All I do now is I've got a mix, which is smoked paprika and garlic powder. And that's all it is. And then I find it easier just to do it all before. I can always add a bit more. So this is half the mix, and I've already made some. Well, my neighbour visited, so there's not many left. But so I'm going to just put this on, then cut them with my knife that I have. And you can't really, hang on, here we go. So cut them into 8s. So these are pre-cooked, but now they're just going to be made into the little chippies. And based on how they've come out of the oven, they will definitely keep in an airtight container for, you know, as long as it's airtight, I'd say for quite a, you know, a few days for sure. And then,
considering how much it costs at the moment, that is so cheap.
It's unbelievably cheap and so easy. And as you'll see, Lisa's going to cook a couple in a minute of the tortillas to show you. It's kind of like a pancake, but it's quite cool how they puff up. I guess it's kind of like a Mexican papita.
Like, yeah.
Right. So
that's super thin
that is literally, yep, they're going to go in the oven now. It says 10 minutes, but they did not take 10 minutes when I cooked the ones today. So I'll just keep an eye on them.
Awesome. Right. And I'll just show you the dough. So that was it. Simple and easy. So your handy hint for getting dough out of your bowl is to twist the bottom, the blades there, and that's pretty much got everything out except for one little bit. And that's it. So the recipe actually says to use extra flour, but I prefer to use olive oil on my hands and on the mat, because too much flour and you make breads go denser. So I'm just going to wrap it, and it says just let it sit for 10 minutes. So I'm going to do that. What time is it now? Yep. So just let it sit for 10 minutes, and I've just used the bread mat. Other things that you can use is your thermo server to rise your dough. Otherwise, or you could put it in a bowl with some oil in it and plastic wrap over the top. But I've got the mat, so I use the mat. Phew. And then what else?
Oh, I know, I can't remember. Yep. I think I'm on the chicken.
Yes, chicken. Chicken.
Here it comes. So the beauty of having two Thermomixes, or being able to stagger things if you've only got one. I have pre-steamed this chicken because I figured you didn't really want to watch it steam for 15 minutes. All it was, I put water in the bottom, and it was about 15 minutes. I've layered it, so I've got some on the top, some on the bottom, and I've used a little piece of our Varoma liners. So if I pull some off, you can see the little circles, little holes. So I love these because what happens is when you cook chicken and things, all the bits get stuck in the little cracks on the Varoma lid particularly. And so these are really good. We've got one that doesn't have holes, which is fine for omelettes and things like that. But if you're doing a meat or even veg and you want the juices to go through into your dish, these are great. And then, as you can see, no cleaning of my dish. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to show you is how to shred. So this is amazing because this is brilliant for lunches, for just to have snacks, to mix things up into salads, that sort of thing. So rather than having the pulled pork, things like that, we can just shred it straight in the Thermomix, and it's literally in seconds. So I'm going to put all the chicken in there. Into the bowl. So there's actually 800 grams here, thereabouts. So three chicken breasts is in there, and get rid of that. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to put it onto reverse. Go back, get out of that recipe. I'm going to go on to, I'm not even going to time it. I'm just going to put it on. So I'm going to turn it on to reverse. And I'm just going to go to roundabout speed 4. Now, what I'm doing is that I'm doing it on the blunt side of the blades. So it's not going to mash it all up like some other things. So I'm just going to go on to reverse 3.5 and get it going. I can have a look. So I'll just stop it there just to show you. So this is 4 seconds. We might need more. Again, this is the beauty. So there's a lot in there. So it definitely needs more, but you can see it's starting. So I'll just pop it back on again. Give it about another 4 seconds. That should be pretty close. So I've got a beagle picking up all the bits that I dropped. Okay, so I'll just pop on there so you can see how beautifully shredded that is.
That's good.
And then that's going to go into the actual mix. But if you have a look in here, because we put the 3 breasts in, it looked like, you know, not too much, but there, that's up to the litre mark of your Thermomix. So that is enough probably for sandwiches for days. So the cost of chicken breasts, rather than buying sandwiches and all those, and it's not processed, it's 100% what you know. I just put a bit of salt on, just because my mum told me you've always got to put salt on chicken and meat when you're cooking them by themselves. And yeah, so that's there. So that's going to go into the mix, and Lisa's going to pop it all together and show you how that works. And I'll make the mix in a bit.
Awesome. Yep. And another hint with that is it's the same process on reverse speed 5 with cauliflower, to make it cauliflower rice, because it just knocks it rather than chops it. And you get a nice chunky cauliflower rice. Fantastic. All righty. So we've done nearly 10 minutes. So let's get our mat back out. So it says to put it into 16 pieces. So with our mat, we always use plastic, either the spatula or one of these dough cutters. We don't use knives because that will cut the bread mat itself. So what I'm going to do is I'll just do 2. I'll move that apart. And so then it says 8 for each half. But what I'm going to do is I'll cut it into 4 and then 8. So it's about half. And then what I've done is I found that I need to tear one piece into 2 pieces and put them back together. So tear that into 2 pieces. So I found that it said that it's and then I'll just do one that's double, that you need to roll it out to 25 centimeters. I found with the cutting the dough into 16 pieces, it made them a little bit small, and I wanted them a bit bigger. So what we will do, can you see that?
Yep.
All right. Yep. So I'm just going to press it out a little into a circle.
My chips are dwindling very quickly.
Oh, are they? Oh, you want to show them?
No,
Quick,
no.
show them before.
I'll show you one just in case something happens.
Yeah.
There you go.
Awesome. So then, and you actually want to roll it super thin. And I kind of have this round, and it shrinks back a little.
And the beauty
so you
of
want
that
to keep
mat,
rolling it out.
and the beauty of that mat that Lisa's using is the circles are there, so you don't have to guess. And if you're kind of like me, if someone says 5 centimeters, I get my ruler out. It's fantastic.
Yes.
And also because sometimes when you're rolling a circle, you get a square or an oblong, but because you've got the little pattern there, it's certainly, for me anyway, it makes me easy to actually get a circle. And those mats are one of our host rewards. You can buy them on the Mix Shop, or they're also one of our host rewards.
And it's super easy. You can just invite, even if you came on our Zooms or to one of our open houses, and you brought 2 people along, then you could qualify for host rewards. And there's stacks of different host rewards now. We'll go through that after.
Yeah, look, they're so big. There's so many that we had to have a whole card for them.
Yes. Yes, and then you also have your special host rewards as well, your limited host rewards.
That's right.
So there's lots of things like the
slider board.
It's not a tray. The glider board, yes. Bit of brain failure there.
And the thermo server that Lisa had the tortillas in. And the beauty of these tortillas is it's a bit different. Pancakes kind of stick together. You make one of these, you cook it and pop it straight in your thermo server, and they just stack up and they don't stick or split. You just pull them out. It's really cool.
Yeah. And so I've done that, but I actually put paper towel in the bottom so that the steam doesn't make them wet.
Yeah.
So I will just get my helper to come and move the laptop and come and video me. So I actually do have a spray. So I just put a little bit of oil on. Yep. And then I'll get him to turn it around so I can show you how thin it is. So super thin. And then just gently put it down. No, might not be quite hot enough yet. So it says a heavy bottomed pan, and it says medium to high heat. I found that, the pan, I haven't warmed the pan up just quite enough yet, but that's all right. It'll get there. It'll get there.
It happens really fast. They puff up like a...
It does. Yes. When the pan is hot enough, they really do.
Okay.
Yes. Right. Yes.
Shall we?
I kind of got a bit keen. Yes.
Okay. Would you like me to progress, or how are you going?
Yeah, go on.
Okay.
Give me 2 minutes.
2 minutes. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in. So I went out of my recipe to do the shredding of the chicken because I wasn't following the recipe, because I wanted to show you that separately. In the recipe, it actually does it as part of the filling. So we'll go back now. So that's what our bookmark is on the top there. So we can bookmark a recipe anytime and go out and do some other things and then come back in, and it will tell us where we're up to. Now, I'm not sure where that bit is. That's in my dip recipe, and I'm going to make the dip a little bit later. We'll get all this done, and then I'll make the dip at the end. So I'm going to go out of that recipe completely. So I'm going to go into my 3 little dots where I can either do a preview I can look up the recipe detail. I can turn the scales on if I like, and I can also cancel the recipe. So that's what I'm doing, cancelling, and it asks me, do I want to? And I say yes. Back to the normal screen. So then to find my recipe, we've bookmarked all these in my week. So you can do your weekly plan, daily plan. You can sit on your chair and say, I want to cook this today and stick it in. You can do all sorts of things with Cookie Do. So we've just made up, or I have made up my week. And in actual fact, if you look at, if I go to the actual calendar, you'll see more of the things that I've been cooking this week. So I'll just scroll along and you can see these are the different days of things that I've actually been cooking in my week. The most important one was that I did the Paris breast, and that is an amazing dessert, and it's in our new magazine as well. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. So, and aside, so in the my week, I'm going to go to the chicken enchilada recipe, which is what Lisa's cooking now. And again, I'm not going to do the whole beginning bit because we've already covered that. So I'll just do start cooking. So that would be the chicken that I've already done, the water, adding the chicken. And I could just go next if I wanted to. But to make it easier, I go to recipe detail, and then I can scroll up and I can see the whole recipe. So the whole recipe is just like having a cookbook next to you. You've got the ingredients and then you've got all the steps. But the beauty of on the Thermomix is you can actually go back in, just like going back to your recipe book, you can go back in. But when you get to the particular stage that you want, you can actually just say, I want to do that now. So I am going to put my glasses on and find that I have, Lisa's done the cheese. She's going to come back to that. So I'm up to step 6 in this recipe. So if I just touch on that, that's the next step and it's all ready to go.
And I will just show you.
Oh, yes.
So this is, yep, this is my one. The pan wasn't hot enough, so it hasn't bubbled as it should, but I've done another one.
Yeah.
So there, yeah.
Here we go.
I've rolled out another one. So hopefully that will be hot enough now. And then I'll stretch that out. Yeah, see that's hotter now. So I'm not sure if you can see, it'll bubble up. In a sec.
Yeah.
So the corners are just bubbling up there. And it says 1.5 minutes on one side and then half a minute on the other side. So it depends on how hot your pan is, of course. And my first one, obviously the pan wasn't hot enough when I did my first batch. And so I cooked it for a little bit too long and it became quite hard. You want these to stay quite malleable so that you can make the enchiladas. So you can see my little bubbles here.
It's kind of like the first sacrificial pancake, isn't it?
Correct. The first pancake is always rubbish.
Or mine.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
And then we just flip it over. There we go. So you got your little bit, well, not cooked marks. Brown. Yes, dear. my handy helper behind the screen.
Yeah. Is that Jess? Hey.
No, Steve.
Oh, Steve. Oh, we've got Steve and John.
He's home.
We've both enlisted the husbands tonight. That's awesome.
Yes.
They're my husband.
So that's pretty much done. And so I'll turn that off, and then you do the
mix,
the filling, and then I'll put 2 more of these together, and we'll show them the rest.
Awesome. Okay, so you can see it says 1 long red chili. I grow chilies, and these are not red yet, but they're really hot. So for me, we put extras in. So beauty of any recipe, of course, is you can adjust it to your own steps. I've got 2 garlic cloves in here and 1/4 of a red onion. So I'm putting that in. And there's 1/2 a tomato and 1/2 a capsicum in here. So tomato, capsicum, and you know, it doesn't matter if you're a bit here and there, if it's a big tomato or a small one, or it doesn't matter. For the filling, I've done this quite a few times. It really doesn't matter. Okay, so we chop that as per anything else. 3 seconds. So for those of you who may be watching that are new to Thermomix or haven't seen it in all its glory yet, you can see how it's chopped all that in 3 seconds. So all the things that I put in there chopped in 3 seconds. And, well, smelt the chili. But you can see how it's spat it all out from the blades. So that's how the beauty of the blades is. It's not like a knife. They're not straight, and they cut and spit things out. So you get that beautiful even chopping whenever you do anything. Okay, so scrape that down. And next, I did that. 2 pinches of salt. I've got the salt. I've mixed up the next little bit all together. So it's salt, pepper in there. Out of there. And some olives. It says pitted sliced olives, but I had whole. It's going to chop them up regardless, so it's no problem.
As a confident Thermomix user, if you don't like olives, like my good self, you can just skip that step.
You can, yes. And then 250 grams of sour cream. Now, sometimes I sub out sour cream with yogurt. I make my own yogurt. It's a beautiful, thick Greek yogurt, same consistency. So a lot of cakes for buttermilk and things like this, I'll often sub out with yogurt, but I have the cream today. And you can actually make sour cream. There's an amazing cashew sour cream recipe that you can make, and it really is amazing, and it's obviously dairy free. And lime juice from my neighbor. Yay. Nearly
excellent.
Nearly enough. And 50 grams of the cheese. So Lisa's going to show you how to shred the cheese with our cutter in a moment, but I've just quickly chopped that. So it's 50 grams. I think that's probably close enough. And we like cheese, so a bit of that. And the spring onion, coriander. This gets pre-chopped, but I haven't, so I'm just going to chuck it in. And only because I forgot, because it's Lisa's step as well. So it's just there. And then, so this just, as I said, it doesn't matter because this is going to get chopped if you watch. And now we're going to add the chicken. So you can see it's all mushed up and chopped. And the beauty of 2 bowls, which at the moment is an offer when you purchase or when you trade to get a second bowl. So the beauty is I did the chicken in one. I've done that. Now I can put them together. Got a chicken. So much. Now, it might not mix perfectly this way because normally you put the big pieces in. So we'll just see if we need to do a bit extra. Should be all right. We'll see. And 6 seconds, reverse. And now we're up to Lisa's step, but I'll just show you what it looks like. That's the whole bowl full because I know Lisa's used a little bit already. So you can see how much and the consistency of that chicken. So it's mushy but not soft, so it'll hold its place in the tortillas. So it's an amazing dish. And then I'm going to use that for something else. I'm going to make up something else. So when I work out what it is, because we've already had the enchiladas this week, I'm not sure whether I might put it through pasta or something else. So when we work that out, we'll let you know.
Maybe in a pie.
In a pie, a Mexican pie.
Pie, maybe?
Mm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Or mini pies. So there's mine. I've already made in our Furraware. I've already made most of my enchiladas, and I'm just going to make 2 more to show you. So I've got my 2 tortillas that I just made, and I'm just going to put it across like that, and then I'm going to roll them a bit tightly, and with the seam on the bottom, and fit that in, and then I should be able to fit just 1 more in. So that's 8, 9, 10. So I've been able to fit 11 into the fira rectangular dish. So then it wasn't too much of a drama that I had ended up making the tortillas a little bit bigger. Cool. Roll it up and pop that in, and then the recipe asks you to put a tin of tomatoes on, and then cheese. So what I'm going to do is cut our cheese. So we have our cutter. It is a limited time ocean water at the moment. So how it works, you pop this in on top of your blades. It's like that. Okay, there we go. And then you pop the bowl in. So this will keep your silver bowl clean. So you can, or if your bowl's already dirty, you're not going to make any difference. Now the blade itself has 2 sides. You can slice thick or thin on the slate side, and then on the light grey side, you can shred thick or thin. So what we're going to do today is shredding. So I'm going to put the light grey side up, and then pop that on. So the TM6 has a mode, grating, 2 modes, grating and slicing. So I'm going to choose the grating side. So I've actually cut, I'm not going to use all of it, but I've cut my cheddar, my tasty cheese into 2 slices so that it fits nicely in there. And you want it firm. So I'm going to do thin first, and I'll show you thin grating. Now, thin takes a little longer, and you want to just press lightly on it so that it goes in. There we go. And I'll show you the thin. Let me get a little bit closer.
Yeah.
Right there. How's that?
Yeah, really good. Awesome. Look at that.
Super good.
So
Yeah.
hand grating.
And then I'll do, yeah. And it was so quick. Super quick.
And the beauty of the cutter is, I love it because if you're doing a recipe and it says, oh, grate something, or, you know, for later on or whatever, you just put the bowl in. Even if there's something underneath that's cooked, you can pop the grater bowl in and keep the onion or whatever underneath, do that, and then take that out and then go from there.
Keep going, yeah. So I will do the thick grate now as well and show you both. and do the thick. So I did, when I do potato, so that goes faster because it's thick. When I do sliced potatoes for my potato bake, it takes about 2 minutes total to do about 1.5 kilos. And that's emptying the container once as well.
You can use the peeler to peel your potatoes.
Yes.
So
yes.
That's a whole nother story. Look at that.
So that's the thick. Let's see if I can do.
I still get excited.
I know. And grating a carrot thin, it's fun.
At our next class, we're actually going to make a Buddha bowl, and we'll be using the grater slicer for a whole pile of things. So you'll see that in really, really good action. All right, here she is. Look.
So here's our enchiladas, and then we just pour a tin of tomatoes over the top. Here's my spatula to spread it out. So my oven is preheated, unlike my fry pan. Pop that out on top. And then it was about 150 grams of the cheese. I love that thin slice. Might pop the thick slice on top, and then a little bit of the thin. There we go, to make up the 150, because we've used 50 grams in the filling. That's about right. And then I pop it in the oven for a certain amount of time. So I'll have a look.
The thing with it is it's actually all cooked. So it really is a process of heating it up and melting the cheese and stuff like that on the so I don't know whether there's 30. It depends if you literally still got the chicken warm, or if you've made it like the day before, because you could prep this the day before and just come home and finish it off. So it'll depend on that sort of thing. But
yeah, it's 25 to 35, so it's a bit of a range. So I'm going to set my timer. 25. Away it goes.
Brilliant. Timer. Timer on Thermomix.
Yes.
Now, even though you can see that timer going, you can still keep cooking on your Thermomix. That will go up to this, this little arrow here. If you click on there on your Thermomix, if the timer's going, you'll see it here. If you're using the sensor, it'll be there. And then this top bit is your current recipe, what you're doing. So you can just set the timer and, you know, go on with the recipe in case you forgot, like I didn't set the timer for little chippies, a little bit over, because I didn't set the timer, but I could have been talking on here, doing everything, blah, 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 and the timer went and I would have got it right. I usually use Siri, but
I'm just going to pop the coriander and spring onion that I forgot to pop on top. I'll just do that now.
Yes. Okay, so the dip that we're making is a black bean dip. Black beans are super healthy. It's a really easy dip. Basically, for the classes, we kind of think about a theme and then we go, okay, what's around in that? So I would never have made this dip, and I certainly never would have made the tortilla crackers either. So for me now, it's like, wow, I've got a whole new thing. And that's what we're trying to share with you guys, as well as techniques along the way. So I'm already in the last recipe and I don't want to be in there anymore. So I'm going to go out and, I'm going to cancel that recipe. Yes. And then I already talked about the dip recipe before. So I can go back into recently cooked. And I do this all the time because I cook bread every week and yogurt and things. So I just go into recently cooked and you can see all the things that I've been cooking. and some of them are regulars. So they just keep coming up and I find them as I go through. And we're doing this one because we started it. Now ask me, do I want to restart or do I want to resume? I'm not sure where I was up to, so I'm going to say restart. Okay, and then I'll be able to now look and see where I was up to. I've done the 180-degree onion. I haven't done the coriander, so I'm literally up to step 1. So this is not 20. I've done it a different way, but there's some there. It's a lot of coriander in this recipe. I'm dodging beagles. They like all the drop bits. Okay, so I've got my coriander in there and I'm going to blitz it like we did earlier with the other things. But you'll see with herbs. Look, I've had a Thermomix since 2008 and I still get excited. I'm just trying to show you with the right light. So you can see how the coriander is all just spread around. And that was 3 seconds. So if you were having to chop that by knife, the thing is you don't get any of the mushing. It's not over chopped, so you keep that beautiful flavour as well. Okay, so scrape down, I would imagine, and transfer into a bowl. When we meet you physically at our home opens or at cooking experiences, we'll give you more lessons on using the spatula. But basically, if you think about the spatula, if you've got one and you're not sure, it's designed to fit in around the blades. It's obviously just designed by the beautiful German people that design the Thermomix, and then the other way, and then you get most of it out. It doesn't matter if there's a little bit in there because it's going in the recipe anyway. So I can just leave some in there. So place a bowl. Now I've already done this bit. So 80 grams of tomatoes. Oops, I don't know where they are. Oh, I've already done that. I know where I am. Okay, so this is like a topping. So this is actually, I did by hand. I diced up some tomatoes. I diced up some little bit of onion and can't remember what that is. I shall tell you. Onions and the coriander, a little bit of cider vinegar as well. So it's just been sitting for a little bit, you know, getting those beautiful flavors together. So that sits aside. So the next step, to stir. So I'm following through. This is where I cook the tortillas. So I could either go back to the recipe and find where I'm at, or I'll just click through this time because I know it's not very far. And so I've got, this is a bit tricky. Normally they say a 400-gram tin of beans or tomatoes or whatever. So I was caught out because it said 230 grams of tinned black beans, rinsed, drained. And I didn't read the drained weight. And so I was like, well, I've got a 400 tin, so I'll weigh the things and I'll do half and then I came back and read it. So always read. So that's all the black beans. Now, chipotle chili salsa, if anyone can get that in Australia, let me know. But what I did was you could make a salsa, but today I did buy a salsa, but I got the chipotle. You can get chipotle sauce or you can get actual chipotles in the adobe sauce. Yes, that one. So I put some of that in. So I bought the normal salsa and then I put the adobe in with that. And lime. Okay, now in here, same, put together quarter of a teaspoon of cayenne, quarter of cumin, garlic powder, and the coriander is going to go in. That's right. And the coriander. Salt's in, pepper's in. And 3 seconds. Oops, it's done. Doesn't look very pretty yet, but Lisa, you up to something and I'll make it look pretty?
Yep.
So
I will
I'll make it look pretty.
Yeah. Let me share screen. So I'm just going to go through the deals at the moment. Let me just open that up. There we go. And then close that for a second. Share screen again. Right. Oh. Yeah, right. So when we were talking about our host rewards, there we are at the moment. So until 31st of July or while stocks last, you can get the cutter. What happens is your demo is you plus 2 people. We make 2 or 3 dishes. There's the value of the host rewards in the first column. If nobody purchases a Thermomix as a result of your demo, your cooking experience, you still get a discounted price on each item. You can choose one of the items as your host reward. But if one of your guests buys as a result of your cooking experience, then you can choose one of those for free, or the cutter at the moment is $19 instead of $219. So that's a fantastic deal. And you've seen tonight how handy that is, that item is. Okay, then we've got, at the moment, if you have a TM5, you can trade up to a TM6 and actually keep your TM5. So this is extended until the 8th of July. Now, if you know somebody who would like to upgrade or purchase a Thermomix or wants to see more, please get in touch with either Lisa B or myself, and we can contact them. Also, we have a new referral system where you have your own personal referral link, and you can send that to any of your friends. And if they purchase, you personally receive a $50 Mix Shop voucher, which is pretty awesome, just for sending a link. And then we've got, for people who just want to buy outright, we've got a $29 bulb laden lid. So that's also been extended until the 8th of July, $366 saving. Like Lisa said, it's the best deal of the year because the second bowl is just magic. It's fantastic. Now, if you actually wanted, let me just move this. I really want this. There we go. If you wanted to join as a consultant, we also have our deal where extended till the 30th of June. So we've really only got 3 days. But you join as a consultant and you get your business kit, you get all the training, you get started, and it's a fantastic deal. And as you can tell, Lisa and I have been around for a while. We love it. Being a consultant.
Sorry. It was just Sally says, yum, I'm getting hungry. Very good. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
All right. So how's the enchiladas? Are they good enough to show us how they kind of look?
They are. Yeah. Enough to.
Yeah.
Do a quiz. Yeah. Let me tip this down. What's that? We'll do
Great. Brilliant.
There we go.
Brilliant. And they just pull apart too.
Yeah.
You actually can give everyone one tortilla as you go. So
Yes.
I've got mine to show, but before I do, yay, our second magazine. So first one, second one is out now. Woolworths, Coles, newsagents. If you see it, it's hidden, move it so everybody can see it and share it. And it's just beautiful to cook from. But one little surprise is that we're going to be doing choux pastry and making Paris breasts, which I think they're called that. I made on a weekend, and it was it was a lot of fun, but it was hardest thing I've probably ever done. So many steps. So we're going to be doing that at our next 2 open houses.
And let me do the advertising for our open houses.
Yes.
So we have the very next open house is, I'll just pop that one. Hang on. Stop.
That was it. Yeah, that was it.
Just pop that down. Yep. That's green, number 3. There we go. So it is 54 Heron Place on Saturday, the 6th of July from 3 till 5 p.m. And we're showcasing the sugar stages, the choux pastry, and
the cooking and the cutter.
And the cutter. And the cutter. Yes. I couldn't see underneath.
Yeah. So we're cooking, we're making lots of stuff. The sugar stages and things are all part of the dessert. So we'll be doing all those along the way, and they're amazing. So definitely worth seeing. We'd love to see you there. Love to have friends with you.
And then we've also got, why is that not showing up? Hang on.
Oh, it's probably not pinned.
It's not, yes.
Okay, and so open house 4 is at my house in Dalila.
Yes. We're
branching out. So if you've got any friends down this way, or you feel like a little drive, it's only 2 hours from Perth.
There we go.
To be fair, you're most welcome. We'll be doing the same thing at both. Sometimes we juggle it up a bit once we know who's coming and those things. So we're really looking forward to it. It's free. All you have to do is come and you get to cook, and we cook, but you can cook as well, and you can help and eat the food, and just chat about Thermomix with everyone. It's just a nice, fun day. No pressure, I guess, is what we're saying. Now, my dishes, which I told you I'd make the dip prettier. Hang on. Okay, so that was the onion tomato topping. So I put it on the beans, and then there's a little bit of the crackers there. So if you see, if I dig in, it's not gonna, it just looks the same. But if I eat it.
They're quite sturdy though. Yeah.
Can you hear a crunch?
Didn't hear it, but I can.
Hang on. I tell you what though, to be honest, I hadn't made that till tonight. I didn't practice. It's friggin' awesome. It's really good. Definitely you could, anyone coming would like that dip. Really good. So there's the dip. That's the crackers kind of all finished. And then the chicken you saw, and the chicken's in Lisa's beautiful enchiladas. So that's it.
Yes. Awesome.
We're cooked.
Awesome. Any questions from anybody?
I don't have any questions myself.
Did you have fun?
So,
Maybe.
Yeah, I did. You've inspired me to make my own version anyway of enchiladas next week for my family.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh,
yeah.
fab.
Yeah, they like Mexican, so they'll smash them down. They'll be I don't
awesome.
normally make my own tortillas because I can't be bothered after work, but I might meal prep them on the weekend and cook them after work. I think they will love that.
Yeah, it was just so easy and simple.
Yeah.
Well,
Great
I-
inspiration there.
The ones I used tonight, I made on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
Use them tonight. They've been laid in the fridge.
Oh, yeah.
They were a little bit firmer, but they would still roll absolutely. So you can definitely do them ahead of time. There would be.
And did you put baking paper in between them?
No, they don't. They're not like pancakes. I just stacked them. And
okay.
as I cooked them, I put them in the thermoserver just like Lisa did. And
Yeah.
then I used what I needed for the dish, and then I just put them literally on a plate on top of each other. There was 4 left, and that's what I made the chips with tonight. So, yeah, you don't need to. It's almost as quick as opening a packet.
Yeah, I think I'll do that, but I think I won't roll them. What I would probably do, just because my boys would like it, is I would put the chicken mix like almost like a pancake, and I'll put one on top and then one on the bottom.
Yeah.
Put the chicken between,
Yeah.
and I would
And then,
pan fry them.
yep.
Just because
That's a good idea.
Good idea.
they would like that
That's a
style
good
of
idea.
enchilada.
Yeah.
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 Because then
Or even your sandwich maker.
yes, something like that.
Mm.
And they can smash it down faster.
Yes.
They're grown men.
Cool.
That's
Great.
Yeah, and so, and have you got any other questions at all? Otherwise, you'll contact Lisa anyway. So
No, that was excellent.
Lisa or Lise, whoever you all want to talk to. And yeah, hopefully you guys come along to the next one. We'll get you the recording as well. And the open houses, really fun. And, if we can get quite a few people, that'll be really good fun to play with. We have fun anyway.
And definitely with the choux pastry. It's going to be...
I did it on
really
the weekend. Good. I've made it. I will get a photo to Lisa so she can put it to show you what it might look like. I nearly got it. Like, I'm a little bit rustic, but I did a pretty good job for me, I thought. Yeah, I haven't posted it all over Facebook yet, but it's a really good thing to learn from. You'll learn heaps. Oh, all right, ladies. Well, thank you so much for coming.
Cool.
Thanks, Lisa. It's from Jodie, I'm watching.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. Thank you. Thanks for coming along.
I'm going to try the black bean one that you did, the dip, because I live on my own. I don't know how to read, but do take in, as Lisa knows, to the work colleagues at work. So
it's really nice. Like, it's really nice.
Oh, good. I'll try it.
And Jodie, I'm not in till Tuesday, okay?
Hey?
I'm not in till Tuesday.
Oh, okay. But no, the black bean, I know it's good for you, and it's got iron and that, which, so really I'll definitely try that one. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Great. Well, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks, ladies.
Awesome.
Right, have a good evening, everyone.
I'm going to stop the...
Thanks.
We haven't taken a photo. I'll stop the recording.
Oh, yeah. Stop the recording, yeah.